as always,
and happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday to you too, brother. That is William.
Hello. Hi. I'm going to go something to say hi.
That was delayed.
Yes, all right, that's cool.
And the cackling fool on the other side is my cousin Lewis.
Hey!
Yes, I am both cackling and both a fool.
The fool on the hill.
If you're joining us for the first time or the 103rd time, we are a weekly movie podcast where today we are actually talking about movie news.
Yes, and William, you know you'll love me until I'm 64.
Why is not 69, dude?
64.
Because the song says...
The Beatles song. Come on.
Oh my God. You uncultured swine!
No. I'm sorry. It's just, bro, when you say a number in the 60s, I automatically just go straight to 69.
Not everything in the 60s has to end with a 9. That's sexist.
Yeah, I know, right?
Sexist?
9.
Oh, fuck off. We are a weekly movie podcast where we talk about movie news. We have the movie bucket list, our main review, of course, and then at the end of the show, we have our individual reviews. This show is going to be...
I just realized this is my last show in my 30s.
Yes,
yeah.
it is.
The next time we drop a show, I will officially be 40 years old. Holy fuck.
Wow.
He's the old part of the group.
Actually, technically...
Huh?
No, actually, no. Wait, no. You're going to be 39 when we record. When we record it,
but I said the next time we drop an episode after this one, I'll be in my 40s.
Yes, you will be in your 40s.
So I got one more recording in my 30s, literally the last day of my 30s.
Yeah,
spending it with you guys.
That's right.
Wow.
And then after that, I'll be in my 40s. Midlife crisis. Here I come.
Speaking about midlife crisis,
Jesus Christ,
we are actually going to be talking about the movies that are coming or have come to Netflix and Amazon Prime. And the first one that I want to start off with is Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. This is coming on to Netflix. These are actually the Netflix movies, and Back to the Future 1 and 2 are actually going on there as well.
On what? On Netflix?
On Netflix, yes, and 3's already on there.
Oh boy!
I know.
A watch party of those because
something else that we need to binge watch.
And of course, Ace Ventura because Einhorn is a man.
The world was like introduced
Einhorn's
to
a man.
Jim Carrey.
No! Shut up, man! In Living Color, that's how.
No, that's how Americans were introduced to Jim Carrey because in Living Color was only stateside. When Ace Ventura came out, it went worldwide, and that's how the world was introduced to Jim Carrey.
Oh, okay.
I know you privileged Americans had him beforehand, but for the rest of the world,
mind you,
having Living Color, which was
speaking about privileged white people.
By the way, wait. Me personally, I first saw him in Ace Ventura, but I thought, in Living Color came out before Ace Ventura, so that's how most people.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
My dad used to see it in Living Color, so I saw it with him.
By the way, can you name the Puerto Rican singer that got her start in Living Color?
Puerto Ricans don't matter. They're not Hispanic.
Yes, J-Lo. Thank you. J-Lo does matter. Fuck you.
J-Lo got her big break in Living Color.
Yeah. All right, so going back to white privilege, the Patriot
such a dismissive fuck, dude. Jesus Christ, man.
How are we affiliated with Diversely Geek and we shit on other cultures?
Not other cultures, just Puerto Ricans.
Can we not?
Other cultures.
Can we not? I've never understood that shit.
Oh my God.
So yes, back to white privilege. The Patriot and
you're Cuban. You can't even say you have white privilege.
I am American, actually. He
technically is American.
Technically. But his background is Cuban.
So, anyways, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory are coming on Netflix as well as Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Speaking of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, there is a video on YouTube. There's this YouTube channel that I follow where it is these effects specialists and they look at older movies of all sorts, and there's really good CGI, there's really bad CGI and whatnot.
Really bad CGI is Charlie and the Chocolate Factory?
Special episode, they did the Willy Wonka and they turned it into a horror movie. Y'all need to watch that because it's great.
Well, dude, the tunnel
the deaths of like all.
I love that tunnel sequence.
The tunnel sequence is my favorite part in the movie, but that shit is fucking terrifying. Like I can imagine being a kid in the 70s watching that movie and then coming across the tunnel sequence.
You heard the story that came out like recently, right? About the tunnel sequence?
No, I didn't. No.
So Gene Wilder,
it's the Tunnel of Love,
was the only person to know about it and how it was going to be filmed.
Jesus.
Nobody else. No other actor knew how they were going to film it. So the reactions that you see, everybody but Willy Wonka, but Gene Wilder's, is real.
Is
because
genuine.
They did not know that that's how it was going to happen. And it was one take. It was multiple camera angles. Dude, done.
Can you imagine?
They wanted to do.
Can you imagine just like you go into this tunnel, they start showing sequences of like cockroaches and shit, and Gene Wilder's just like, we don't know where we're and he's just shouting and you're like, what is happening, man? I'd be utterly terrified.
Dude, I love that sequence. So many people
are
freaked out by that sequence. I'm like, what? No, it is glorious filmmaking.
I wouldn't say I'm scared by it, but it's definitely like in comparison to everything else in that movie, it's a little off-putting.
So, you know how we were talking about bad CGI a second ago? Perfect segue is Underworld. The trilogy is actually going to be on Netflix, which it is probably some of the most atrocious filmmaking and special effects. And yes, people, please argue with me.
The first one was decent.
It was not.
Good premise.
The CGI was atrocious.
It was a good premise. I mean, like...
They tried to cover up the effects issues with making it darker. And the emo kids bought into that and became a huge thing on Hot Topic. So instantly it attracts an audience, and that's pretty much it.
Dude, you saying that shit, like the dark, just reminds me of spoilers, I guess. The battle of fucking what's the city called in Game of Thrones? In the last season, that it's like notoriously super super dark.
I don't know.
Winterfell. The Battle of Winterfell.
Oh, okay.
When the White Walkers show up, dude, that I felt like they just made that episode dark because they were like, well, this is gonna look bad.
Exactly.
So let's
and that's what they do. That's what people do.
Super dark.
They cover up by using dark sequences and stuff like that. So that falls suit with this. And then next one is actually really cool. I started watching already, and I got a few episodes in. Is Hollywood? It's a Netflix original series. About Hollywood and the golden era of Hollywood. And it's actually really interesting so far.
Dude, I really random just getting into shows. Have you guys... Okay, I know you guys frequent Facebook a lot, so you've probably come across pictures or videos of this dude that looks like a toad. And I know that sounds really mean.
Toad?
He has no neck. The guy has no neck, and he's really short, and he's fat. And he has like long black hair. It's from the show on TLC called 90 Day Fiancé. Have you guys seen it? There's like pictures or some videos going around of him. He basically goes to Thailand to meet this chick. And I'm just watching with my girlfriend and I'm like, this is such shitty television, but I love it. It's so good. And you're like trying to decipher the entire time. You're like, is this girl genuine or is she just trying to get a green card to come to the U.S.? And it's just
perfect segue, actually. Perfect segue.
It.
Shitty TV shows. Riverdale season 4 is actually coming to Netflix on the 14th.
I like Riverdale's first season.
It was not good.
It's
that
shitty,
shit was
bro.
Fucking...
It's honestly, you watch Riverdale, you're getting yourself into a CW show.
Yeah,
like, that's
what it feels like, a CW show, like an old school CW show.
Which, nothing against CW shows. There's a lot of shows from that, like Smallville, fucking Gilmore Girls. I love those shows.
Yeah, but it's nostalgic value more than anything else. If you really look at it, you're like, I could see where nobody nowadays would like that show.
No, Smallville's super corny, dude.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Super corny.
So that's actually coming out on the 14th. On the 15th, District 9 is actually coming to Netflix, which I fucking love that show. That movie. And
that is one of the movies, like, you know how, like, Hollywood needs to make sequels to, like, everything because everything is a cash cow and they absolutely need to fucking make sequels when they fucking don't. This is the movie that needed one, and we never fucking got it.
Hell no. Leave it at that. I like how it got left.
I want a sequel where they come back and get him. I want a sequel as to an explanation why they've been gone for like however many years it's been now, and that they finally come back and they get him, because he needs that, like, that closure. He needs that, like, he needs that happy ending after everything he did. He did, and yes.
I like that. It leaves it on that half note. But this one, District 9 and Chappie, are two movies that I watch back to back every time I watch them, because they work so well together, and they're just I don't know why it just works so well.
The same director did District 9, Chappie, and Elysium, right? The one with Matt Damon.
Yes,
yeah.
Matt Damon.
Isn't what's his name from Lord of the Rings attached to District 9 somehow?
He produced it. Yes.
Yes.
Who? Peter Jackson?
Yeah, Peter Jackson.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was producing a bunch of movies right pre King Kong.
Okay.
And this was one of them.
King Kong. District 9 came out before King Kong?
I believe so. If not, it was right after.
No. District 9 came out like 09, I think, or 08, and King Kong came out like 05.
No, it wasn't 05. It was a lot later than that. There was like 3-year gap.
Here we go, baby. It's happening.
Let's hear that click clacking.
2005, baby. Suck my dick.
And when was District 9?
Oh, right now. Wait.
District 9 had to be like anywhere between 98 and...
No, it was not 98. It was late 2000s.
Bro, I was right on the fucking mark. 2009, baby.
2009. Okay.
All right, there.
District 9 was 2009.
I'm like a fucking Rain Man of movie dates.
On May 16th, the aforementioned United 93 is actually coming to Netflix. So if you have not watched that very, very depressing and hard to watch film, it's definitely worth a watch, because it will pull at the heartstrings, like William brought up before.
That's one of the planes of the 9/11 attacks, right?
Correct.
Yeah, no, I will definitely be skipping that one.
Yeah, May 20th.
Watch it if you had never have. Don't think like oh, you know, if anybody actually ever pays attention to what the hell I say, they're like, oh, he said don't watch, he's not watching it, so I'm not watching it. No, I'm not watching it because in the situation that we are right now, mentally, I'm trying to come out of a hole, and that's not going to help. So if you are not in a good place mentally right now,
don't
watch this. Wait till you are in a better place, and don't watch it alone. Having somebody there that will help you and is in the good moral standings.
I just remember watching it and not being moved at all, but I will take your word for it, and I will rewatch it again. But I don't remember being moved at all by this movie. But
I was moved in the sense of like I'm very empathetic, and like when I watch this, like a movie like this, I'm not like, oh, I'm watching a movie. My thoughts are, what is going through that kid's head right now that he's thinking he's literally about to die and calling his mom for the last time?
Yeah.
And then he goes, what is that mom thinking as she's listening to this message, knowing this is the last time she'll hear her voice? And what is going on with these people's faces as like, or meant like heads as they literally see that ground get closer and closer, and then it vanishes. What happens when you die? Like when you die like that, like that's where my mind goes, and I'm going to stop talking because I can feel like I'm going to lose it. But that's why to me, it hit me as hard as it did. To you, where you're like, oh, look, people are getting eaten alive by other people, and it's okay. Maybe not as much. But if you're like me, I've given you my...
your 2 cents.
My 2 cents and my forewarning as to be careful watching this.
Lewis.
Yeah. All right. So May 22nd, History 101. It's a Netflix original. And I'm definitely enthusiastic to watch that because I'm a huge history buff. So I'm looking forward to that. May 25th, Uncut Gems, the Adam Sandler movie, is actually coming to Netflix. And that's a must fucking watch. You must watch.
Going back to the history thing, Netflix released this show, it's a documentary. It's like Planet Earth, but they give like all the animals like really funny like commentary and funny voices. It's kind of cute. I watched the first episode with Carla, and I was like, this is enjoyable. I could totally watch this. So if you want Planet Earth, but with like a funny like twist to it, watch it. It's I forgot what it's called. There's something Earth.
Speaking of, this is actually a funny segue. Space Force, the Netflix original, is actually coming out on May 29th.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's it for Netflix. For Amazon Prime, I'll go through some of them quickly. Escape from Alcatraz is coming out, the original.
You better fucking do it quickly. I'm sorry.
The Final Countdown, 1980.
It's the final.
Exactly. Forever the song will be stuck in my head because of Arrested Development. That will forever be associated with Job. Forever. Walking Tall, the original, which is a fucking glorious movie. Inferno, the 1980 movie. Rocket Man is coming out on the 22nd of May. Alias, all 5 seasons are coming out the 11th of May. And Come to Daddy, the new recent film, is actually coming out the 23rd of May.
I don't like how you said that.
Come to Daddy.
Ew,
it's like that song. Come on. The fucking what was it? I think it was it Aphex Twin? Or was it no.
I did not know you were into Aphex Twin, dude.
Oh hell yeah, dude. Phlegm is one of my favorite songs, dude. I fucking love that song.
Oh yeah. Real random. One thing I was reading today. Tom Cruise wants to team up with Elon Musk and NASA to be the first person to film a movie in actual space.
Of course he does.
Space.
Fucking crazy son of a bitch.
He is a crazy son of a bitch, dude. I swear to God, that man never ages. It's insane.
I know. He's part of the Illuminati. That's why.
He is the Illuminati.
He is the Illuminati. So anyways, that's it. That wraps me up for this week.
So William, every week, brings a random movie from these posters that were given to him by these very tall, slender, sexy aliens.
Oh, they're sexy now. Yeah.
Yeah, they're sexy.
Slender man.
I guess after 52 days in quarantine, an alien can look sexy. Yeah.
But unfortunately...
And slender.
But unfortunately, in all the craziness of the Rona, he forgot those posters in New York, and he's now somewhere in deep rural Connecticut. So
deep rural,
God knows where you are, dude. So he just came up with movies, right? You decided one day I'm gonna come up with some random movies.
Well, I mean, like I was lucky enough to find the old pictures that I sent you guys. When I sent them.
Okay.
But given the fact that this week, yesterday was May the 4th. Today is Revenge of the 5th. Tomorrow is Revenge of the 6th. I don't know, but I'm gonna throw a little bit of a curveball, and I'm gonna make you boys actually do like some thinking.
Oh God, I'm dying. Okay.
So now, taking in consideration all 9 Star Wars movies plus Rogue One plus Solo.
Why do you say Jesus, Lewis? Why does this bother you so much?
Because these movies are shit.
If you were to pick,
no, they are not.
They are shit.
And I know that you have this little persona on our show. They are not shit. Not all 9 movies of Star Wars are shit.
I will never have George Lucas as a guest on our show.
Like
hell no. I would probably give you maybe 2 films, 3 films.
Okay. Well, let me finish my question, and then you can pick from your 2 films. The rest of us can pick from the other 11 movies.
I don't know, man. Maybe it's because I'm a fan of Star Wars. I'm sorry to interrupt you, William, but
he's used to it.
No. Like legit, I take it to heart, bro. I hate when you do that shit. I hate when you're like, they're shit. I'm gonna laugh in the day when you talk to somebody that you admire or some shit, and they tell you that fucking Lord of the Rings is shit. I'm gonna fucking laugh in your face, dude.
Oh my God! I hope somebody's there to call 911 because he's.
I will fucking cry with happiness, dude. It's I don't know, dude. It's such an asshole way of being. Like, it's like telling someone like that likes Harry Potter, it's shit. I don't know, man. Like, okay, you don't like them.
What do you think we got here? This is how it all started.
I know, right?
I hate it, dude. It's just so fucking mean, dude.
I don't know.
So
like,
fucking
I
mean.
try to say that it's shit because somebody took the time to put something on film, and especially when it has the following that it does. But like one of the reasons people are like, "Why have you been sitting on your script for so long and you haven't like really moved forward with it?" and then because eventually I want to get it filmed, I want to get it done, I want to put it on camera, and it's kind of like because part of me is afraid that
what people will think
be my baby, and somebody's going to look at it, and then at the end of the movie, just look at me and be like, "It's shit," and I'm just going to die right there because I'm like the amount of time and effort and love that I put behind this, and this person just like, nope, it's like it's one thing if it's like nicely done, not for me, don't really like it, didn't enjoy it, but it is something that you did, and then I'd be like, all right, cool, I know that it's not for everybody.
By the way,
look at me and just completely crap on my art that I just tried to do, I would just be like, all right, well then here's the script, you film it, make it better, tell me how it works out for you.
By the way, coming from a big fan of Star Wars, I'm not saying that all 9 movies are 9 plus Solo and Rogue One, so it's 11 movies are great. There are some that are really fucking bad. Like really fucking bad. But I just can't take it to heart when you say that all of them are bad. And I know it's your persona because we talked about it and you actually like some of the Star Wars movies. I know you do.
I do. And I
know you do. So then why do you say they're shit? Like I don't understand that. I don't know. That doesn't make sense to me.
I just think that some of them are shit.
They are, and I completely fucking agree with you, but you didn't say that.
And also, honestly, like, I just think it's one of those series or series of movies that are just so fucking, I'm like, all right, I'm done. Like, really? That do we really need to continue talking about this? That's it gets to that level already. It's like,
we really need to keep talking about Lord of the Rings?
I'm not asking anybody to talk about Lord of the Rings.
You're not, but like you sing such high praise of Lord of the Rings, but the day that someone shits on it,
no, I'll be like, okay, it's not your cup of tea.
No, you won't. We both know you won't. That's such horse shit, and you know it. You will defend the shit out of those 3 movies, dude.
Back to my question.
Yes.
Now I feel awkward asking.
It's fine. Go ahead.
All right. So, if you were to pick one movie out of the entire Star Wars live-action movies,
okay,
because I put the animated series, both Rebels and
Clone Wars,
in their own little section.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to pick one Star Wars movie to represent all, to just kind of like be like the springboard, to be like, it's a bucket list movie, and it may sway somebody into watching the others. It doesn't matter what order they're in. What movie would you put on the bucket list from the Star Wars catalog?
As cliche as it sounds, A New Hope.
No.
Why?
Empire.
I know. I would say Empire.
You was gonna go straight for Empire.
I would say Empire. I would say Empire. Empire is probably the best Star Wars movie, or definitely the best, or one of the 3 best Star Wars movies. But literally, without watching A New Hope, you don't understand what's going on in that movie.
That's not true.
Yeah, come on, bro.
I don't think that's true. I think watching Empire, you'll be fine.
1977 didn't have no idea what was going on, and yet it still made like a shit ton of money.
I don't know. I feel like A New Hope because it's a good starting point. It was designed that you didn't need to know anything you don't need to know, and I don't know, like you don't need to know who Anakin or any of those people are. It's a springboard, and then you get into the better movies, which are Empire and Return of the Jedi, but still, I don't know. I feel like without A New Hope,
you would go with New Hope, but if it were up to you, you
Empire.
would go with Empire.
Yeah, Empire, or I'm gonna get shit on for this one, or The Last Jedi.
I agree with you on that. I think The Last Jedi and Empire are honestly the better of the Lucas saga. And then when it comes to like the offshoots, Rogue One is a phenomenal movie.
Rogue
One is probably in the top 3 like best Star Wars movies. Rogue One is like incredible.
It's its own thing for me.
Yeah.
See, I'm with you, like as on the New Hope, because I think it would be a good springboard.
Yeah.
Because my choice would just like Like my favorite one, and I know I'm going to get shit on for this one. My favorite one is the episode 6.
Why would you get shit on? People regard that as a good one.
Lewis?
Episode 6 is which one?
Return of the Jedi, the Ewoks one.
Oh, fuck that. The
There
fucking
you
monk. No.
See, that's another thing I don't get. Like, why do you hate the Ewoks so much?
I just don't like the Ewoks, dude. It's like they're.
But then I don't understand. Like, you literally just dismissed that entire movie because of the Ewoks.
No. I don't dismiss the whole movie. I just think that it doesn't hold a candle to Empire Strikes Back. I think it is superior than New Hope, and I would probably put it above Force Awakens and above the most recent one. So it's not a bad movie. It's just if you're gonna put it, it's not gonna be anywhere near Empire Strikes Back. That out of the original trilogy, it's Empire is like a fucking 10.
Yeah.
What do you call it? Return of the Jedi is like a 8.5, 9, maybe pushing it, and then New Hope is like a 5.
So that's so far. I like A New Hope. I just think that the other two are better movies.
I really can't stand A New Hope. I'm sorry. It's a very unpopular opinion, but I cannot stand that movie. I think it has so many fucking flaws. And
like some of the other movies are really bad. Like, I like Revenge of the Sith because as a Star Wars fan, it gave me answers to a lot of things, but it is not a good movie. I like Revenge of the Sith because, again, it gave me answers and and nostalgia because I watched it when I was like 12 years old. But
it's one of the movies I've walked out of.
It really, if I nitpick Revenge of the Sith, that whole sequence when Vader's like, no, it's really bad. It's really, really bad.
It really is.
There's two sequences, that and the Younglings. The Younglings
is fine because
like,
whatever.
Yo,
that's what they... No. But like the no shit, like I don't know how Lucas was directing Revenge of the Sith and saw that and he was like, that's a good take. That's an awesome take. But then we get into like, and then Phantom Menace, I need to rewatch Phantom Menace because it's
pretty bad. I watched it again and I was rewatching like the modern trilogy and I was like, let me start with the prequels. Yeah. I got through like half of it. After the pod race, I was like, I'm done. I'm good.
But honestly, and then we get into what I call literal shit in Star Wars. And that's Attack of the Clones and The Rise of Skywalker. Those two movies are literal fucking doo-doo.
I don't know what the deal with everybody is with Rise of Skywalker. I didn't think it was that bad.
The Rise of Skywalker, it's either you like it or you don't. Most people like it because most people hate The Last Jedi and blah, 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 blah.
I mean, I'm not a huge fan, so that's probably why.
Bro, I came into The Rise of Skywalker. Again, I'm a huge fan, and I'm always excited to see something new Star Wars. And I literally came out of that theater, and I was like, what the fuck did I just watch, dude? And maybe that's what some people felt with The Last Jedi. I don't know, but holy shit. Rise of Skywalker. I'm going to rewatch it now because it's on Disney Plus now. But Jesus, man, I saw it once in theaters, and I was like, this is doo-doo.
Yeah.
Fucking hot doo-doo. So, but that's how I'd rate the film. Solo's pretty good too. I didn't mention Solo.
I like Solo. A lot of people didn't like that either.
Definitely not my top 5.
No, same.
It wasn't like the bad movie that apparently everybody was trying to make it out to be.
Yeah.
I'll put it this way. I put the holiday special in front of Attack of the Clones.
I've never actually. Let me rephrase that. I saw the holiday special through a YouTube video of somebody like kind of talking and reviewing the holiday special.
We should do that one as a
fuck. Man. Actually, let's just say I don't want to get in trouble with Lucasfilm or any of that shit. So let's not.
Remember, we're a podcast about positively reviewing movies.
Also, on the final movie, which I totally forgot, was the animated Clone Wars movie, the one that started the show, which I reviewed not too long ago, like a couple months ago.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not great. It's not a good movie.
You know what else, though? Like something that I know, William, you said that it's not part of, you don't consider it part of this, but Rebels, the series, I would probably put, if I'm ranking it with that, it's Empire, quickly followed by Rebels.
Yeah, Rebels is really good.
Dude, that series, I've watched it twice in the last year. It's that fucking good.
Did you watch the Clone Wars finale?
No, I haven't watched that yet.
Damn, dude, you are...
Clone Wars was okay, but I loved Rebels.
So, quick little side note, that the final season of Clone Wars is going to be my review for today. I'm not going to go into any spoilers, but yes. I've always liked Rebels more than Clone Wars, but damn, dude, that final season,
it was good.
Chef's kiss, except one part of it, but we'll talk about that later. Yeah, man, I really like Star Wars, and it's a shame to hear, like, I didn't mean to, like, blow up on you. It's just, it sucks when someone's like, that shit, and I'm like, why? Like, why? I don't know, man. I'll be honest with you, Lewis. I think you shit on shit just because you think it's funny.
I do. I really do.
I don't like that. It's annoying.
I find it hilarious.
It's really fucking annoying. It irks me. I don't find it funny at all.
I find it funny sometimes just to fuck with people, but
it legit irks me. Like, I don't know, man.
You're gonna find something funny. Look at your phone. I just sent you something. Well, I just sent the group something. I think you'll get a good chuckle out of.
And it legit bothers me when, like, it legit bothers me because I know you like some of the movies, and you just like and you said it as like a blanket statement. You're like, oh, Star Wars. It's like, but you like some of them. You just spoke really highly about Rebels, so yeah. I don't understand it.
It's it's when people talk about Star Wars, they think New Hope, and it's like, no, that is, and they think George Lucas, and immediately when I think George Lucas, I want to fucking barf. It's that kind of reaction that I have. It's that guttural reaction that I just can't help, because the man is a disgusting human being, and on top of that, he.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you. What's the movie that you reviewed? I think it was
Annie Hall. You reviewed it last week. This guy. What's
correct? But at least his movies are good.
Worse than Lucas.
I'll say this. I feel like Lucas is a good visionary. He just doesn't know how to get to that vision.
He's good at giving story ideas. Exactly. He's a good idea person, but when it comes to execution, he is god-awful at it. Because you watch those movies, the pre-movies, THX 1138 and all that shit.
Dude, I legit like...
What's the other one?
The one in the 50s.
American Graffiti?
I like American Graffiti. I like American Graffiti. That movie's cool.
Oh, God, that movie was horrible, in my opinion. I really couldn't stand that movie. So, there again, it's that difference of opinion, man. And I'm sorry, but I just don't appreciate his movies.
So to bring it back, because, like, I think we're running over a little bit.
Just a little.
It seems that, like, we would go with New Hope just because it's a good springboard, but if we were to put one bucket list movie from the Star Wars, it looks like it would be 2 Empires, 1 Jedi, Return of or Revenge of.
It sounds like a porno.
So
2 Empires, 1 Jedi.
All right.
So tune in next week when we bucket list and shit on Lord of the Rings.
Jesus, man.
Branden.
Stay tuned at this quick break when we come at you live. Hey, I could say live.
All right.
With the final, the main segment of our show, the main review, which is Tickled.
Welcome to an exploration of sight and mind, a travel through the world of films and the artists that bring you these masterpieces. Do you love films, directors, actors, cinematographers, editors, composers, or any of the hundreds of artists that bring you these feats of art? I am Luislacau, your host into the world of films, your guide to Man Bites Retro.
All right, guys, welcome back for the main segment of our show, the main review. This is Lewis's pick, Tickled.
Yes.
Let's stress that this is Lewis's pick.
So it was funny.
This is a fucking great documentary. I don't know what the hell you guys are talking about.
So I didn't know what the fuck this was about. It was over the weekend. I'd gotten some fast food with my girlfriend. We were about to eat, and I'm like, "Can we watch what Lewis picked for us?" And she's like, "Oh, what is it?" I'm like, "Tickled," and she's like, "What the fuck is that?" And I'm like, "I don't know, but I feel like it's something
wait,
like."
Hold on. 103 episodes we've done together, right?
Yeah.
You have not learned in 103 episodes that when it's Lewis's pick, I don't care what it is. If you haven't heard of it or ever heard of it, don't bring food into it. And sure as fuck, bring somebody else into it. Suffer on your own, watch on your own, and if you want some advice, watch it on an empty stomach because you just never know.
So my immediate reaction with the title was, oh, this is something about, it's a documentary about like maybe people that have a fetish with tickling, right? And then I'm like, and then I read the description, it's like about the sport of tickling. And I'm like, what? And then I proceeded to watch this documentary with my girlfriend. And honestly, Will off air a second ago was saying that the documentary did not keep his attention. I felt the complete opposite way. I was completely enthralled with this dumbass shit that I was watching.
It's the humor that this guy puts into it. This guy injects that British kind of very dry humor into it, and it's supposed to be hilarious. The shit that he uncovers.
Yo, I don't mean to sound like an asshole. When you know how you can call an Australian an Aussie?
Yeah.
Is it like bad to call a New Zealander a Kiwi?
Yes, it is a derogatory term.
Is it a derogatory term? I did not know that.
Yeah.
So what's like the
derogatory, especially like from the Australians to the New Zealanders?
By the way, I'm sorry if any New Zealanders are listening. I did not mean that in a bad way. I was just asking.
No, but the fruit is fucking amazing, dude.
Yes, the fruit is amazing. I will completely agree with you.
I love kiwis. I could
eat what
all day, every day.
So people just call them like New Zealanders, I guess.
I guess so.
Like, okay.
I don't know.
I guess they have really like dry humor, like English people.
It really is. It very much is. And you could see it with like movies that Peter Jackson did before Lord of the Rings. It has a very dry sense of humor. Like Dead Alive. You remember that?
Yes.
It has very dry sense of humor, and it has very like messed up humor. Same thing with like Deathgasm, you know?
So little plot. This is about a New Zealander reporter that comes across videos and a website of this literal team, a sports team of guys that literally compete in tickling. They basically get like literally tied down to whatever the fuck it is, and like 4 other dudes proceed to manhandle this guy and tickle him.
The video that they present is
it's so homoerotic and weird, and just the fuck am I watching? And then so he proceeds to look into this sport, and then this person that owns the team proceeds to basically tell him to stop looking into them because she's gonna basically sue him. And he just goes, he's like, balls to the wall, baby. I'm finding out what's going on.
Yeah.
And it goes from there, and it completely unravels into this crazy fucking conspiracy.
Yeah, and I want to go into spoilers on this movie because it's just so much fun, I think, all the shit that unfolds in it, and I really want to talk. So, did you guys have anything else to say before we go into spoilers?
No?
All right, so anybody...
I enjoyed... What was that bicycling movie that we reviewed last year, I think, if not the year before?
The one with Armstrong?
No. The one that, like, the guy just wanted to, like... He was like an amateur bicyclist, and he just wanted to kind of like juice up a little bit to become like a better performer. And he unknowingly unravels
Icarus.
Icarus.
I don't think we reviewed that because
I thought it was going to be something like that. Like I was waiting for this payoff to be like he's going to uncover something massive. Like
he did uncover something massive.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Because since we're going
Well, we'll go into that. Hold on. Before you do that, spoiler alert, just if you guys are wanting to watch this movie and you guys don't want it to get spoiled, please skip ahead like about 10, 15 minutes. That way it gives us a chance to talk about the spoiler aspect of it. So, now, William, what was it that you were saying?
What's the big payoff? It's some rich fucking guy that's filming these people and threatening them and making fake names and accounts. And just because he gets his jollies off of like watching people get tickled,
dude,
that's not a huge thing.
My man literally stole the identity of a dead woman.
Like two dead people. Like to me, a massive thing was like the entire Russian Federation juicing their fucking athletes for the Olympics. That is massive. Some rich guy that inherited millions and been sitting on his ass and jerks off to people being fucking being tickled, and then legally threatening them with threatening them with legalities until he's caught on camera, and then he backs off like the little bitch that he is not a massive payoff.
I think it is. Especially when they confront him.
Watched a 20-minute episode summing it all up and being like, this dude's a douche.
He is a douche, for sure.
But,
I agree
dude, that whole interaction
was shit.
The whole interaction with him and the reporter in the out of his car, dude, I was like, yes, finally somebody's calling him out on his shit.
There was a couple points in this documentary where I was like, yo, this guy has balls, man.
Dude, seriously.
Like when he ran to the guy and talked to him, or when they went into the studio where they were filming, and he's just like, hey guys, and they're like, you can't be in here. I was like, this guy's some balls, man. Like, I would not be able to do that shit at all.
It's kind of one of those things you're like, damn, I thought it was a really well done documentary, and that's why I really wanted to present it. It wasn't like to be spiteful. It wasn't to be stupid or anything. I actually do enjoy this documentary. I probably put it up there, top 10 documentaries of all time for me. I fucking love it that good. Much.
I enjoyed it. I definitely was completely like, I thought it was going to be dumb at the beginning, and then when he finally got into it and then he started uncovering shit, I was like, ooh, this is getting steamy. I'm liking it. Let's go.
And then when they bring up the guy in Orlando, I was like, damn. The guy that's like laying all out there. He's like, yeah, dude, we do this, we do that, and it's just fun. It's a fun fetish.
For a second there, when they brought up the guy in Orlando, and he was like, oh yeah, I'm into it, and he has like his little studio in his house, and I was like talking to Carla, and I'm like, I wonder if this is like, I know it's sexual, of course, he enjoys it in that sense, but with the dude, and then he just like they like zoom in and he's just like flicking the guy's nipple, and I was like, okay. Okay, this is getting a little too much. But I really, really enjoyed it. I was so pleasantly surprised by this whole fucking conspiracy theory of this fucking dude that was in jail at one point was still doing the whole thing in jail.
Seriously. Crazy, the guy has some fucking balls too. That guy, like, it's like, yo, for real? This guy, not only is he impersonating two dead people, but he also impersonated the lawyer as well. Because the lawyer was like, no, I didn't send you those letters.
You rich person privileges. You impersonate a lawyer, you go to jail.
Yeah. By the way,
it's like impersonating a cop. You go to jail. You get arrested, you go to jail.
By the way, Lewis, that lawyer that they started talking to and they were like, did you sign this? And he was like, no. That's the same lawyer from Don't Fuck with Cats.
Oh, shit.
He comes out in that documentary, too.
Oh, wow. I didn't catch that. I
saw his face, and I was like, holy shit, that's him. Which is also another documentary on Netflix, right? Netflix.
Yeah.
It's really good, too.
Yeah, it is. But honestly, this one, I give it a 8.5 out of 10. I fucking love this movie. It's enjoyable. It's fun. It's an interesting journey, honestly, I think.
Okay. I'll give it an 8. I was definitely, again, pleasantly surprised. I just thought, like, Louis gave us a documentary about people that get off on tickling. And yeah, it's about that, but like more than that at the same time.
Yeah.
And I was
it was better than Nuts. That was the other option that I might have given you too.
What the hell's that?
It's about this guy that grafts goat nuts on people for male potency in the early 1900s.
What the fuck? Dude, what are these documentaries that you're watching, dude?
That is a great documentary. And it's actually directed by this lady named Penny Lane.
That's such a nice name. Such a soothing name. So, William, what do you get it since you were the one that get it? What do you give it since you were the one that didn't like it? You liked it the least. William?
No, I'm here. I'm just trying to think, like...
For a second there, I thought my internet gave out, and I was like, oh, no.
Maybe like a 5, 6.
Damn.
It wasn't for me. It was just kind of like... I don't know. And then, like I said, like I was expecting like some kind of like big blowout at the end, and then that, you know, it would just... And it's, what is it? It's some rich fucking guy that's impersonating people that basically he's catfishing people because he's got money. And then the moment that he gets put on fucking camera and he gets caught on camera, he fucking backs up and all of a sudden the emails stop and everything. It's like, oh, so you're a little bitch, like straight up, because the moment you get caught with your hand in the cookie jar, you're not even going to, like, you know, he acts all tough and he's like, you better not be putting me on camera. And then it's like, yeah, well, I better not do shit because
by the way, I completely agree with you, William, in that sense that a lot of documentaries have that problem for me. That is like nothing, most of the time, nothing gets resolved at the end of a documentary, and that's unfortunate.
It's also low stakes. I mean, that's the thing, though. Like, I think also that goes into our viewing habits because, William, you like watching these big Marvel movies, these big temple movies, these things that are basically worldwide effects.
Yeah.
And I like these small little movies that kind of, it doesn't need to have a resolution. I like them when it doesn't have a resolution and it leaves it ambiguous. So it kind of falls into our movie taste, you know?
Because, like, life is so full of, like, empty resolutions that when you sit and watch something to check out from reality, you don't want to watch reality. You want to see something huge. You want to see like a big payoff and be like, it was worth it. Like I said, Icarus, loved it. I put Icarus in my probably top 5 documentaries I've ever seen because it's so, like, this is a story that if you were to tell me this story drunk at a bar, I would be like, you are so full of shit. There is no way that some dude from the middle of fucking nowhere decided I want to be better at bicycling, so I want to talk to somebody about shooting up. And all of a sudden, he brought down the entire Russian Federation of the Olympics. Like, dude, have another drink, go fucking home, you're drunk. And then watching it going, holy fuck, this thing is real. This right here, it's like, man, like...
The first thing when I tell them, oh, there's a tickling competition, they're like, what? No, that's bullshit. And that's the reaction that everybody gives me.
That I knew. I didn't, like... I didn't go into it like going, oh my god, they're like, I know that there is. Tickling makes me uncomfortable too. And maybe that's why I didn't like this movie as much. For some reason, it just does not make me comfortable. And then just watching it on screen, I'm like, oh, like, all right, can we just move on? And, you know, and the fact that this rich guy fucking like ruined that like football player's life. And then he was fucking fake. And then like, you know, he's that rich fucking bully from high school that fucking makes your life miserable and then fucking like gets away with it, and you've lost so much in your life, and this dude is still doing it to other people and there's nothing you can do. And this is exactly what he did. He ruined his fucking life, and he's out there still impersonating people, breaking the law, impersonating dead people, and he's a little bitch because the moment he got confronted and got called out, he didn't even bother to fight it. He was he fucking ran off, drove off, and then just fucking backed off. And it's like, oh, okay, so that's what you are. All you are is a rich little fucking bully. And you should pay out your ass for what you did to this one guy. And we don't even know if he did it to, like, other people. This is just
he did.
Person that was, like,
he did
on camera and did it. And it's like, why, if there's so much proof, Why are they not going after this guy? And then
that's the whole point of the documentary. The point of the documentary.
And she's like, oh, yeah, we've had problems with it. I don't talk to him anymore. And he said that he's doing it again. Are you going to do anything about it? This is your family that's, like, destroying other people's lives. And no, obviously you're not. And like I said, like, that's probably why I didn't like it as much, because it's like...
Well, I think it's also commentary to it. I think it's also... It basically supports the cause that you're saying, that rich people are, for the most part, eccentric assholes, and that they do need to be held up to the same standards as people that live modest means. And honestly, like, I think this documentary is very poignant for that, because it shows that the rich are taking advantage of people for money. And it's very much like the same documentary that brought up about bum fights. You remember that whole thing? The bum fights in the 90s? That exploitation of bums and making them basically going to the fucking hospital. It got to that far that they were using weapons and shit like that, and they were killing each other, and they were profiting off of that. And that kind of shit, it was just the rich using the poor people for their means, you know? And this film exploits that. I think that is so crucial. You talk about exploitation of the poor and middle class and all that stuff in the United States. This documentary is that. And everybody needs to watch that, because they need to know that this rich fuck needs to go on blast. And that's why I think it's important to highlight these type of documentaries that are small and haven't been brought to full attention that they should. Because that asshole needs to pay for all the shit that he did. Because they were saying that he has cells all over the United States doing this shit. That means there's that many people to the potential of falling into the same trap that poor guy did.
Yeah.
So I think it's important that they actually bring up this documentary and that we push this out, because this is an important documentary to highlight. It's something it's the Icarus thing. Yes, that resolved itself, though. The population doesn't need to know about that, because it resolved itself. It happened. And because of the documentary, yes, it happened and it was resolved. This documentary still hasn't been resolved, so we need to give it attention. And we need people to understand the exploitation of fetish videos and how people do exploit that. And people need to be aware and very careful with exploitation videos like that, because that's what happens. And I think that's why it's important, and it's something that needs to be brought to people's attention. Instead of sharing all these fucking videos about politics and all that stuff, and videos about, you know, things that we can't do anything about right now, because honestly, it is getting attention and we're not going to sway anybody's mind. This is something that's going to bring attention to people that are causing harm. And we can do something by focusing in on documentaries like this.
Yeah.
Topics like this.
So, hey, go watch it. Streaming on the Hulus.
Yes. Hulu.
On that note, stay tuned to this quick break. When we come at you, not live, with the final segment of our show, the individual reviews.
As the songs of awakening rang through, the world was created. The silence was broken.
Middle-earth, with its rolling hills, broken mountains, flowing rivers, and beautiful forest, was created.
Cellar Door is a journey into the mythology, the mystery, and the beauty of Middle-earth. Sit back.
Close your eyes.
And imagine.
All right, guys, welcome back for the final segment of our show, the individual reviews. William is going to be going first.
All right, so I know I don't do this very often, but I have been, I don't want to say sucked in, because it wasn't a suck, like, it was like an instant hooked to a YouTube channel. And the guy actually has more than one. He's got 3 main ones and then smaller ones that he does. But the 3 ones that I've really gotten into, actually the 2 ones that I've really gotten into, is Biographics and Geographics. And the other one that he has also is Business Balls.
Business Balls?
Yeah, Balze. But I'm not going to worry about that one because I've only seen like 1 episode of that. The 2 that I want to focus on is Biographics and Geographics. Okay. They are about 20-minute episodes. There's got to be combined well over probably 120, 130 episodes. He drops a new episode every Monday and Wednesday. His name is Simon Whistler, and it's got like his followers. Like it's a high following thing. It's been doing this for at least a couple of years. I was trying to figure out when he started it, and it seems like the oldest video that I found was like a couple of years ago. So it's only been going on for a couple of years, but he has covered so with Biographics, he literally covers everybody throughout time. He's done William the Conqueror, Harry Truman, Marcus Aurelius. He's done Frederick Sanger, Calico Jack, Robert Johnson, Kublai Khan, Genghis Khan.
Kublai Khan.
Huh?
Kublai Khan. I don't know. I like that name.
He's done like all the Khans. He's done Ivan the Terrible. He's done pretty much every serial killer that you can think of. He's done women throughout history. And
he's done Franz Kafka. Sorry.
He's also done like people like Robin Williams and Dwayne The Rock Johnson. And like I said, he's gone through like history, and I don't know how he hasn't run out of people by now. He like just on Nazis alone, he's got probably about like 15, 16 episodes covering like all the main Nazi people, and he does like backgrounds, like from who they were born, their life, how they joined the party, what their role was, the aftermath, everything that they did. And it's so detailed, and his voice is very soothing. So it's not like he's like screaming at you. It's very soft, and he keeps your attention. And the fact that they're not like, like 40, 50, an hour long videos, but they are by standards 20 minutes, 25 minutes, so the short videos, it makes you keep going. I've watched he's going to have more than 120 because I've watched 50 episodes myself. And then Geographics also is the other one that he does. And just like Biographics, Geographics is all about different places throughout the world that he has covered, from not just like the big names like the Bermuda Triangle or Stonehenge, but he's done the Yellowstone supervolcano, New Amsterdam, so like the history of New York City, Deepwater Horizon, Palermo, Route 66, Machu Picchu, Bikini Atoll, like I said, Stonehenge, San Marino. He did like this castle that's in Austria. I forget what the name is, but it's like the one castle where Americans and Germans fought side by side. The only time that ever happened, because they were being attacked by other Germans. And it is incredible. Like, if you're a history buff, if you have a love of history and you just want to know about something, throw this on. Like, even if as background music or as background noise, because yes, he talks and he uses a lot of images and videos that, are obviously from whatever subject he's talking about. So he even digs that deep. It's not just him in front of a camera for like 20 minutes. There's pictures, there's videos, there's documents, there's stuff that he shows you, but you don't have to see it. You can have it as background while you're cooking, while you're cleaning, while you're doing whatever else. And it's like, I highly, highly recommend this channel if you have any love of history, because It is the most in-depth, the most, like, I learned so much about things that I thought I already knew, but I learned even more about certain people or certain places. And like I'm really passionate about my review this week because, like, it's not like I'm not passionate normally, but it's like, dude, if you want to fall down a rabbit hole on YouTube, fall down this hole, because you'll come out a lot smarter than when you first, or smarter, not, I want to say a lot smarter, but you'll definitely come out smarter, or at least more knowledgeable coming out than if you just sit and watch, people doing stupid shit on YouTube.
It's actually really cool. I added like 3 or 4 videos already. I'm like, yes, this is a must. This is a must. So it is a really cool rabbit hole, honestly.
You will absolutely love this, Louis. And even you, Branden, I'm sure you'll find people on here that you'll be like, oh, let me hear about this guy. Or, sit and watch a few episodes with Carla. I know Samara walked by and she got caught into it a couple of times where she's like, I got stuff to do, and then she's like, what are you watching? And I'm like, I'm watching this episode, and she sat down next to me for like 20 minutes and she's like, oh shit, I got stuff to do. I'm like, all right, good, we spent 20 minutes together, that's great. Definitely watch this. This is an 11 out of 10 because this is like beyond her.
Damn.
Right? Like, I don't think we've ever gone 11 out of 10. But this is just perfection. His voice, his tonality, the length of the video, the detail of whatever subject he's talking about, the number of videos that he has done in the 2 years. And then on top of all this, he has a podcast that he does as well. That's called Brain Food Show Podcast. And then, his 4th channel that he has, it's called Today I Found Out. And it's just like little tidbits of information, but it's more one of those like useless information, but it's fun to know. And you can find all of them. Like, if you just go on one of his channels and you scroll to the bottom, you'll find the other channels as well. So they're all there connected with each other.
I found it fascinating. They have Fulgencio Batista on here. I was like, what?
Right?
You never find videos about him. So it's like,
they would cover, and they're like, nope, we're going to cover this, and we're going to cover that. And did you know about this lady? No, now you do. And it's like, and wait till you listen to it. It's just so, it reminded me a lot of Cellar Door.
Yeah.
Because it's very flowing. It's very appeasing. It's very pleasing to the ear. But you learn. And I've fallen asleep to this for the past 6 days. Because I start watching it, and then it's just like, after a while, I'm like, ah, crap. And then I wake up, and there's like 12 more videos that I need to go back and watch because I slept through all of them. But my game system hates me because I haven't turned it off at night for at least 6 days.
Jesus.
But definitely watch this. Like I said, 11 out of 10. And if you watch it, you will understand why. And if you do, really come back and let me know what you guys think. Whether it's you guys or, you guys listening.
Or the listeners.
The listeners, all guys. And by guys, I mean dudes. And by dudes, I mean every human being that's listening to this.
That's sweet, dude. I'm adding it to my list because I'm going to be listening to that at night.
And you know that when I'm come out of nowhere with something that Louis hasn't heard, and he's adding it within 15 minutes of me talking about it, it's good. It is. We have found common ground. This is not shit. This is actually really good stuff.
I just love the fact that it has so much variety in there. Like, there's people in here that you're like, whoa, okay, this is not the usual bullshit that you get, like these, the people that skim the surface of history, and they're like, okay, we'll grab the big names and pull from there. No, this has some really out there characters.
And it's like, what was the other one?
Aleister Crowley's another one that I added.
History buffs, history buffs, does with the movies and will break a movie down and say, but which, by the way, they have dropped a new video from Elizabeth, one of the Elizabeth movies, and they rip it apart because that movie is just not chronologically right at all. But History Buffs is good. They are like 1 hour long episodes, but they focus on just like if there's a movie about it. This one is like if anybody's ever spoken a word, then they've done anything that is a speck in history. Look for it. If he hasn't done it yet, message him, leave him a comment. He'll probably do it. And he's really good. So that's all I got. I could go on and talk about this for the rest of the episode. Seriously, right here. Like I said, the two main ones that I absolutely push is Biographics and Geographics on YouTube. Obviously, it's free. The dude's name is Simon Whistler, literally, just like he's a whistler. And
we'll put up the picture on the Facebook page. So please join us on the Facebook page, and you can see the picture of what it's actually titled. That way, you don't find any random person on YouTube that has the same name.
Yeah, like he's a bald guy with a beard and glasses. Like, trust me.
Very distinct. Very distinct.
Branden.
No, Lewis.
Sorry, Lewis. What are you bringing us?
So the one that I'm bringing is actually on Netflix, and this is a pick that Bruce Perky, one of our listeners, brought to my attention. And I was like, all right, let's see how this documentary unfolds. It seemed kind of, I was like, all right, it's interesting, but I didn't know how it was going to catch my attention. And honestly, it kept my attention. It intrigued me. It was fascinating. And it's a good one. It's called Circus of Books. And I don't know if either one of you have heard of it.
Nope.
William?
What was it again?
Circus of Books.
No.
Okay, so this actually revolves around these two people, Karen and Barry Mason. Jesus, that's a tongue twister. And it revolves around the store that they opened called Circus of Books. And it was around 1970s. And basically, it was actually all gay paraphernalia. Like books, movies, magazines, all that stuff. And it was one of the first of its kind. And it got to the point where they were actually producing films themselves to distribute. And this documentary chronicles them, but the documentary is actually done by one of the daughters. And the fascinating part is that these two people that started this company they basically hid this from their family and their friends. They never told anybody that they were doing this. And this documentary unfolds why, and it tells you why they didn't tell their friends and family, and it has some very interesting twists and turns, and honestly, a very interesting message. And that message is that the gay rights and how it is a suffrage movement and was a suffrage movement for a very long time, and people don't realize that it is a suffrage movement that has gone under the radar because it wasn't something as vivid as the Black rights movement, the women's movement, all that stuff. It kind of got downplayed a lot. And especially in the 80s and 90s, it was downplayed a lot. But this film actually revolves around that, and it brings some fascinating things to light when the family dynamic gets thrown in there. And it keeps you intrigued. It captures your attention from the first about 20 minutes. You got to let it settle in for 20 minutes and give you the backstory of it. And then it starts going. And you're like, wow, this is actually really cool. It's kind of like a slice of life type of thing. And okay. I found it really intriguing. And there's some really cool messaging about homophobia and where it could lead to and how it's led people astray, even in families that were tolerant and very liberal. They still suffer from homophobia, even if they put on the illusion that they're not. And I think that's very fascinating. And this documentary tackles that idea and kind of moves it and progresses it forward. And I like the way that they brought it forward. There is a lot of flaws with the documentary. It isn't perfect. It doesn't flow perfectly. There are points where you're like, really, could that have, was that really necessary to put in there? You could have chopped that, and it could have been dropped maybe by like about 10-15 minutes. But it is intriguing. It keeps your attention. And I give it about probably 7 out of 10.
Okay. Alrighty. So as I was saying earlier in the show, as you all know, the final season of the Clone Wars premiered, what was it, like 2 months ago on Disney Plus? Something that
was it 2 months ago?
It's more than that, actually, because it's a 12-episode season.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
This is something that people have been waiting for 12 years, man. Clone Wars premiered in 2008 on Cartoon Network. Got canceled. Netflix brought it back for 1 season, and then there was still no resolution. So people, the fans wanted more, and they decided to do a 7th and final season, which is what we got now. And honestly, so I've never fully finished the Clone Wars. I think I'm going to do that now. I knew what was going on because over the years, I'll be like, oh, what's going on in the Clone Wars? And I'll check it out. And I knew like the major story beats and whatnot. But
so
honestly,
let me get this right. You skipped the season before this?
So the season before this was the Netflix one, which no, I have not seen. And I skipped the 5th season. I've seen up to the 4th season, but there is a major storyline that happens in season 5 that you kind of need to know to understand what the hell's going on in the season. And I knew that storyline, so I was good. Other than that, you don't really need to know much for season 7. You need to know the main characters like Anakin, Obi-Wan, Rex, and Ahsoka, and and some other peeps. But other than that, you're pretty much good. Honestly, the season was incredible. The first, so the season is comprised of 12 episodes, and there are 3 arcs in the season. Each arc is 4 episodes. So in the first episode, it's basically this battle on this planet where basically they're trying to save one of the clones, and Anakin meets this group of like defective clones called the Bad Batch. Defective. They're literally defective. And it's such a fun, it's a fun little arc. The Bad Batch is a group of super cool characters. So I enjoyed that. Then we get into the second arc where Ahsoka meets basically these sisters. Sorry, they're not twins. On Coruscant, and befriends them. That mini arc was not good at all. That was definitely something that I felt the season didn't need, or they could have done something else there.
Yeah.
But the last 4 episodes, holy moly, those episodes were fire. Like, extremely good. Will, you've seen the season, right?
Nope.
You haven't?
You forget. I've never seen any of the animated Star Wars.
Oh, damn. You're missing out, brother.
Oh, Rebels is amazing. Like we aforementioned.
I would like to talk spoilers, but I'm not going to because the last episode literally came out yesterday.
Yeah. Too early. Too soon.
Honestly, the last episode it's the Siege of Mandalore. It's basically Ahsoka trying to help the clones basically take back Mandalore for the Mandalorians, their home planet. And it evolves into something much bigger than that over the course of those 4 episodes. Those 4 episodes were fucking incredible, dude. Incredible.
You have watched the entirety of it for the 4 episodes to make sense? Or is it one that if you just even know the basic Star Wars background and what the Clone Wars are about?
Okay, let's say this.
Common knowledge, you're okay watching them? Because, I love to watch. This arc sounds fucking amazing. But
okay.
If I gotta watch however many seasons just to watch 4 episodes.
I'll say this. Of course, if you've seen Star Wars, the movies, you know who Anakin and Obi-Wan there. So you're good. You're good there. Yeah. You need to know who Ahsoka is. Do you know who Ahsoka is?
Ahsoka is, if I'm wrong, I apologize. Don't come down my throat.
No, it's fine.
No, I'm not worried about you. If I'm not mistaken, Ahsoka is the female Jedi that has like that blue and white. I want to call it like a headpiece, but I'm not sure exactly what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But like you've seen her, like you've seen pictures of her, and I think I know her just because I've seen pictures.
No, so you're thinking of Shakti, which they're the same race. But no, Ahsoka is a Padawan. She is basically she's introduced in the Clone Wars movie. The beginning of that basically started the Clone Wars series. She is Anakin's Padawan. Right.
Okay.
Then you need to know who Rex is.
Rex is my older son, dinosaur that has Rex and Rory on Instagram.
Yeah, so Rex basically is Anakin's right-hand clone, basically. Like he's the captain that's with Anakin, basically. So you need to know those things. And
actually, Ahsoka is who I was thinking about. I think I was just describing her the wrong way.
Okay, yeah. I thought you were talking about Shakti, which is another Jedi master that is the same race as Ahsoka. But whatever. You need to know all those things, and you need to know, like, again, the main thing you need to know is that one storyline in season 5 that's super fucking important. Other than that, you can watch The Siege of Mandalore, honestly.
Okay, I may actually
will some things hit a little bit harder if you've seen the show entirely? For sure. Some things will resonate with you more. But other than that, yes, you can watch The Siege of Mandalore if you know, like, those couple things. Awesome. Like, those 4 episodes were on par with, for the listeners, I like Rebels more than Clone Wars. That is not taking anything away from Clone Wars. I think Clone Wars is an exceptional show.
Clone Wars is a good show. It's a very
really
good show.
But I personally like Rebels more. I cried in the series finale of Rebels. That shit hit hard.
Dude, seriously.
It hit hard.
I think that's the only Star Wars movie that actually gave me the feels.
And unfortunately, there are some stakes are lost in the Clone Wars because you know that certain characters will be okay in Rebels.
I think it's a good introduction for children. I think that this is a series that you could give to children to introduce them into the Star Wars universe.
Rebels or Clone Wars?
Clone Wars.
Yeah. Yes, I agree. But as I was saying, like, some stakes are lost, unfortunately, because certain characters are okay in Rebels, and you know that if you've seen Rebels, of course, which takes place after Clone Wars. So, unfortunately, some things are lost, like some sense of like, oh shit, this character might not be okay, when you know they're going to be okay. Other than that, the ending is very suiting to the Clone Wars. I'm very much excited. I feel like Disney is hitting it out of the park with these animated Star Wars shows, and I'm really, really excited to see if maybe they do. There's been some rumors flying around that they're going to do a sequel to Rebels, another animated show. So
I hope they leave it as is. I
don't. I want to know more. I like open-ended endings sometimes, but in this case, I don't. But we'll see. So yeah, Clone Wars was awesome. Definitely got me in the mood to go finally finish Clone Wars. I'm going to start it from the beginning though, and definitely rewatch some of the really, really good episodes in Rebels. But yeah, the season was awesome, dude. I binged like 7 episodes of it yesterday because I was behind, and I knew that the final episode was out. So I was like, man, it's May the 4th. Let's do this. So I went crazy and I watched it, and yeah.
I'm sure you've heard about Waititi announcing directing a new Star Wars movie.
Yes, I have heard, yeah.
When is it that they're slating that for release?
They haven't
announced it yet.
Yeah.
Like, I think that because of the situation that we're all in right now, they don't know when production will pick up for anything at this moment. So
yeah.
Also, if you liked Mandalorian, they apparently are releasing a 8 or 10 episode of behind the scenes.
The first episode is out already.
The first episode is already out.
Yeah, came out yesterday.
I still haven't watched it.
Oh, also, real quick. since we are on Disney Plus, which obviously I guess this is on Disney Plus, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I know we had talked about prop culture that hadn't come out, but I put it on my top 10 things to watch streaming.
Oh, okay.
It has finally come out. Watch it. That's all I'm saying. It is great.
Awesome.
It is like 6 or 7 episodes. They're an hour long, but they are great. I was right. It is as good as I thought it would be.
So final
where's
thing
that
at? Disney Plus.
Oh, okay.
Final thing I'm going to say, also one thing that I think the Clone Wars does an incredible job of is they created a character like Ahsoka and Rex, and I think that they have propelled them to be some of the most interesting and fucking well thought out characters in the Star Wars mythos. Ahsoka has very quickly become one of my favorite characters.
Really?
She's such an incredible character.
Because of this last season?
Because of this last season, because of other shows. I don't want to ruin anything. Ahsoka is just a fucking incredible character, and so is Rex. And it's so cool to see. I feel like, dude, I honestly feel like the future Star Wars could be animated shows, man, if they do it right. I really do think that.
I will tell you, Rebels is something to fucking behold.
Dude,
so
Rebels is incredible.
I want to give a little plug to Binary Sunset Church.
Yes.
For anybody that's out there that actually is Catholic or Christian and very much a fan of Star Wars or any type of fandom like that, Richard, the nerdy chap, is actually going to be doing this every Sunday like a mass, a Christian mass, but he includes in his sermon Star Wars inserts and stuff like that. And
that's cool.
Pretty much all he's included so far has been from Rebels, the first one, and the second one was from Rogue One. So, I mean, he's including theology in there, and it's actually very fascinating because I've had to produce the show, so I actually get like all the interesting aspect of it, and I'm like, dude, this is really fucking cool.
That's cool. So, my rating, again, the first arc is cool. I'm gonna give it 3 ratings. Each arc. The first arc is cool. I'd give it like a 7. It was fun. The middle arc kind of lost me a little bit. That's when I stopped watching, unfortunately, when I kind of let the show go on. I'm going to give that middle arc like a 5. I just was not about it. But that final 4-episode arc, oh, dude, it's some of the best animated like Star Wars, or just some of the best Star Wars, period. I'd give that like a 9.5. That last 4 episodes is awesome. So yeah, if you haven't watched the final season or any of Clone Wars or Rebels, they are streaming entirely on Disney Plus. And yeah, go do yourself a favor. They're both incredible shows.
Sweet.
On that note,
what's our pick?
I'm going to be an asshole this week after our little debate earlier this episode. So I switched it up.
Am I going to suffer through this? Because whenever you two fight, I
No, you're not going to suffer through this one, I promise. So
he laughs, but it's so fucking true.
So off air, William and I just wanted to be an asshole to you. This is before we even started recording, and we were gonna give you.
You weren't supposed to throw my name into this.
It's fine. It's fine. So it was gonna be in between The Rise of Skywalker and Endgame. I'm gonna switch that up now. I'm gonna make it The Rise of Skywalker or A New Hope. I hope it's The Rise of Skywalker because I legit want to watch that movie again, and I just want to bash on it. But if you pick A New Hope, that's cool too. So they're both streaming on Disney Plus. So it's either Episode 4, A New Hope, or Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker.
I actually like The Rise of Skywalker. So
dear fucking God in heaven!
And I just saw it.
Endgame.
Fucking Christ! How do you like that movie?
Okay.
But I hope you guys pick The Rise of Skywalker. But I'm happy to go with either or. It doesn't matter. So they're both.
A New Hope.
You want A New Hope?
I want A New Hope.
Because you wanna make him angry.
I just saw it like a week ago, so I'm good. I just watched it, so I watched both of them, so it's all good. I've already seen them.
Awesome, cool. So of course, if you enjoyed our show, go to manbitesfilm.com, our sister site, diverselygeek.org.
Can I throw a curveball?
Yeah,
specifically for Lewis.
Yeah.
Whichever one wins, especially if New Hope wins, you can only review it in a positive way. You cannot shit on it. You cannot talk shit about Lucas. You can because you have to remember, we are a podcast that wants to positively review movies. So that goes for The New Hope as well. So I am looking forward, and I hope that everybody goes on the Manbitesmedia page and votes this week, and I will share the voting the shit out of it. This is like that Secretariat versus whatever other movie, because I will campaign the shit out of New Hope just because I want to see how he may struggle. Only being able to positively review it, and
or just stay quiet.
No, don't stay quiet, because I won't allow that either.
No, you cannot stay quiet. You have to have opinions.
Because if we did that, you'd be pissed.
I will call that my birthday present.
There you go. So, again, if you enjoyed our show, go to manbitesfilm.com, our sister site, diverselygeek.org, and, of course, our brother from another mother, John, over at YouTube at Narcotic Castro, and
also
the nerdy chap.
Not only the nerdy chap on Binary Sunset, Church, and Movie Mainline as well. If you want to check us out there, it's four different podcasters coming together and talking movies, which is pretty cool.
Awesome. So stay tuned for next week. I'm going to say bye to you guys in a second. For the final episode of William's 30s.
We're gonna play taps on next week's episode.
On that note, thank you, William.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lewis.
Thank you, Brandon.
I'm so happy I picked. Thank you for giving me this idea, Will. This is amazing. As always, I'm Brandon, and we'll see you guys on the next episode of Manbitesfilm. Cue the drums.
Did you like the new drums?
I haven't heard them. I've been a piece of shit. I'm sorry.